A few weeks after that,
Okay, cool.
it hit the scene again with another album, with this album, which went to number one in a few weeks' time, and was at number one. This album was at number one for 31 non-consecutive weeks. That's practically the whole 1956.
Hold on a second.
This album was at number one on the pop album chart, which is a 200 album chart, for 31 non-consecutive weeks.
Jeez.
And it was it's the first album in American music history to sell 1 million copies. The first album, look at this. The first album by Black Brothers did break this record.
So before that, that's never happened.
That's never happened.
Affinity Extra, Be Extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Extra.
Yeah. People, this is Roger Moore here, and Affinity Extra celebrating our community Black origin, and we here back with the Edge. There's no ever better way to start back the season of Edge, the season where I notoriously hit interview after interview and interview. Is that I'm back with my brother who has been a fantastic mentor for me when it comes to deciphering black music history. And we are now back in. We had a break because obviously the studio was being redone and whatsoever. The building that we host the studio in, and now we're back. And we're back because we had to start off in. I got a phone call saying, "Listen, it's June." I said, "Oh, yeah, it's my birthday month." No. It's not only your birthday month. It's where we celebrate black music history. You know what I mean? There's only good coincidence there, But and I think what still, we need to do this. Yeah. So Kevin come up, and now we're gonna go through a series. I believe we're gonna try and do a 4-part series.
That's right.
This is part one of the series. Now you can also go back in and get reference to the videos that we've done in the past about black music history. There's a playlist with loads of videos. This will add on to that load of videos here on Affinity Extra. But we're not here to celebrate gospel music of black origin. We're here to look at the roots and the fundamentals of black music history to understand the way forward for us in UK gospel. Yeah, you see these successes, and we can walk in the room and know that we are not here to apologize to be in this space of musicality. And too often in Christian music, we come into the space to go, sorry, we apologize for being here, but can you give us a little movement? No. We have to realize that we are the kings of creativity when it comes to music. And people go, whoa, that's big talk. Name me anybody else. You see, people get a hip hop beat and rap in French. People get a hip hop beat rapping Arabic. People get a hip hop beat rapping Chinese. So they take our style of music and they put their twist, which is cool. But where do you get it from? Us. So don't get twisted, that's people. Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying. We're the authors, particularly Afro. People of Afro, I have to say, man, Afro slaves, people of the generations of the people that got moved to Americas and to the Caribbean. You ever said African diaspora? That's the way. That's the word. The diaspora has done amazing things, and we're here to celebrate it, guys. Anyway, still, yeah. So hopefully that introduction won't put you off, but we're here to celebrate. So we're gonna go through a bit of Kevin's record collection.
Yes,
all right then.
Yes.
So I know you're thinking, Kevin go like the church I went to. I don't think I could have his records in my yard still. Yeah. So Kevin was obviously breaking the rules very early on. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin sneaked these into the house, but it's the way it goes. But 100% he's gonna let me know and teach. I've heard some of these names before, but he's gonna put some meat around it. So let's go, Kevin. Let's start to celebrate some of the movers and shakers. Yes. So if you can show this up to the screen, is here, yeah. So you know what I mean? It looks like that could be me, bro.
Could be. Belafonte Calypso album, 1956.
Now listen, I've heard his Belafonte, yeah?
Belafonte.
You know what I'm saying? Was that his real name, surname? Belafonte?
Fonte, yeah.
Okay. You know the people with stage names, you know what I mean? Yes, Calypso. So
Calypso, yeah.
So tell me about Harry. Give me a bit of background between this guy that's still here.
As far as we know, his parents is of a Jamaican born.
Jamaican born. Okay.
They came to.
Were he born in Jamaica?
No, his parents was born in Jamaica.
Both his parents?
Yeah. But as far as I know, he was born in Harlem.
Harlem. Okay, New York. Okay.
Way back when.
Okay,
the 30s,
cool.
Yes.
In the 30s?
Yes, because he's of my dad's generation. Because my dad was in his 90s and he died at 96. Harry Belafonte died at 96, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what people don't realize as well, there were Jamaicans in New York these times because you got the Marcus Garvey.
Yes, Marcus Garvey.
These guys were moving around after World War One. They were moving into. They were traveling up into the Americas. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and you know, and I don't know if
Canada as well. And
yeah. Was that? What do you think that's connected to? When they were building the canal? And a lot of Jamaicans went up. Do you reckon they would have moved? Would have traveled?
And also, a lot of the Jamaicans work on the cruise ships and so forth.
Oh,
there's a different way, different things that they did.
So after slavery, they found different ways of.
Yeah,
cool.
And they were involved in the sugar cane production, farming production, etc. Going way back.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's sweet.
What is fascinating about Harry Belafonte in particular?
Go on.
He was the sex symbol during the 50s. And he was the only artist, male.
60s, you say?
Yeah.
50s and 60s, okay.
Yeah. He was the only male, one of the few male artists, including Nat King Cole, who actually could compete with Elvis Presley in terms of album sales. Would you believe it? In terms of album sales, yes. He was the only one who could compete. He's one of the few black brothers that can compete with Elvis Presley in terms of album sales.
So when Elvis Presley...
he was on the same label. He was on the same label as Elvis Presley. He was a label mate.
RCA?
And Victor.
RCA
okay. Victor.
Okay, so you see... Just to give context is Elvis Presley was like the number one selling artist back in the 50s.
Yeah, he was one of the number one
artist there.
But I wouldn't say he was the only number one.
But he was one. He was right up there. Yeah.
Right,
because obviously people, when I was younger, everything was the king of rock and roll.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The self-proclaimed, the commercial music, popular music, claimed rock and roll. So we got this Harlem young man in the 50s now producing music on the same level,
major. He's on a major label.
Yeah.
Remember, he's on a major label, which is RCA, major label. During then, that is the same major label that Jimmy Reed was on as well. Jimmy Reed was on that same label.
Okay,
so a major label.
So Belafonte now. So I've heard his name so far, and I saw the title called Calypso. So what track would I've heard that would have been him? Now, I again, guys, I was on. Well, I need to shout it live.
Deo, a Banana Boat. Those things were popular tracks that came from that album, that Calypso album. Matter of fact, Deo. That's right. That's from that album. Yeah, it's from that. Yeah, it's from that album.
I learned something.
There it is. Deo. That's right.
Oh my word! Sorry, guys.
Brown skin girl. Brown skin. The Jackass song.
I know a couple of brown skin
Jamaica
songs.
Deo. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. From this album. Okay,
go on.
Before this album was released, Belafonte had an album titled it was the first solo album to go number one. His first solo album to go number one on the Billboard 200 pop album charts.
That's back in the 50s.
Yes, back in the 50s. It peaked at number one.
Yeah.
Weekend the 24th of March, 1956 for 5 weeks, and it was also gold certified.
5 weeks?
It was also gold certified, so it sold over 500,000 units.
Okay, that's crazy.
Now
cool.
it was dethroned by Elvis Presley, but listen to this. He came back and revenged that
Go on.
on round about a few weeks after that.
Okay, cool.
He hit the scene again with another album, with this album, which went to number one in a few weeks' time, and was at number one. This album was at number one for 31 non-consecutive weeks. That's practically the whole 1956.
Hold on a second.
This album was at number one on the pop album chart, which is a 200 album chart, for 31 non-consecutive weeks.
Jeez.
And it was it's the first album in American music history to sell 1 million copies. The first album, look at this. The first album by Black Brothers did break this record.
So before that, that's never happened.
That's never happened.
So a brother that's parents are from Jamaica.
Yes,
has gone to the US.
Gone to the US. Their parents went to the US. Yes,
and he's now like breaking a record like that.
Yeah, and it was
in the 50s.
Yes, and this record was at 58 weeks in the top 10. It was 58 weeks in the top 10. And
that's over a year in the top 10?
Yeah, and 99 weeks in the top 100.
So why are we still apologizing for being in the popular charts with our music 10, 20, 30 years later?
I don't know. I haven't a clue really. It's basically, I think it's basically resort to ignorance. Basically. That's how I can actually define it, as ignorance. Because this album was so significant that the album was inducted in the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2015. They catch up with it, and in 2015 it was inducted. And it's also an album of historical significance, and it's basically in the Library of Congress as a historical significance and cultural impact. The actual album itself. That's how it's unprecedented.
No, I've heard of Belafonte. You know, when you hear his name, and I just didn't click to what he has really done. Again, I haven't really. I never grew up around.
Yes, I can understand that.
We did music around me. Commission Fred Hammond, usual stuff. Yeah, but to hear his actual impact is like, hold on a second, yeah.
Yes.
Why are we apologizing again for this space? So, in terms of this record now, obviously we talk about the US.
Yeah.
What sort of impact did it make in the UK? I just want to confirm some of these.
Okay.
Was he popular? Because I know sometimes US.
Well, he also the Calypso album, which we have here. The Calypso album reached the top of the music charts in most of the European countries: European, Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean.
So this song, obviously it transcended into all cultures. It was a global hit, white collar.
Yeah.
So
this was like the Thriller.
Yeah.
This would be like the Thriller of the 50s.
Jeez.
It was massive.
And the thing is, so also let me go more into West Indian people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Often we see commercial hits, and we go like this. Sure, they're a sellout, yeah? What did Caribbean people did they like this album?
Of course, because it was big in the Caribbean.
It's big in the Caribbean, so yeah. Go.
Yes,
make sure you talk down the mic,
Yeah, Deo, it was big in the Caribbean.
Yeah. No.
I remember my parents talking about it. It was a massive. It's a massive.
Okay.
Globally.
So,
this is another thing.
Go on.
Where this brother had, apart from the two albums we mentioned, Belafonte, which is the first one that went number one, and before Calypso, Calypso album, the Aretha Calypso became another number one. He had a total of seven gold records to his credit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Belafonte returned to the Carnegie Hall.
Okay.
Yes, and Jump Up Calypso.
Okay.
Belafonte returns to the Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
And also he has another one where live at the Carnegie Hall, and even with Belafonte. So he had about 6 to 7 gold albums
wow.
and some of them were million sellers.
Wow.
He was just amazing. Wow. And also another record he broke, that the Christmas single Mary Boy Child reached number 1 position on the UK official pop single charts on 7th of November 1957, the year I was born, around that year. And 7 weeks. He spent 7, and he spent a total of 19 weeks on that particular chart. Ari Belafonte also became the first
Go on.
male black artist to have number 1 in the UK, right, in the UK, and he was the first to become a 1 million copies single. 1 million copies, the very first. He was the first person to do that.
So
he broke records
in the 50s now. In the 50s,
so he broke records on both sides of the Atlantic.
Let's bring the context in. It may be a really tough context for people to swallow, and you may think, Roger, don't go there, but I'm going to go there. Yeah. You've got a guy who is top of the charts,
Right. Yes.
as on the same shops on the corner in the UK are saying no Irish, no dogs, no Irish, no blacks
Yes.
at the same time,
And they're buying that single.
and they're buying a single.
Yeah. That's the hypocrisy. Well, I call sometimes racism to me sometimes is departmental. Actually, the racism in one section.
That's a good point.
The racism in one section, and yet, it's like, for instance, where I used to
Bro,
live,
that's crazy,
where I live.
Yeah.
I remember somebody who doesn't talk to me, but he was playing Bob Marley. He was a Buffalo Soldier next door, and the brother doesn't want to. And I said, that's fascinating. You like the music, but you can't stand me. How does that work out? But anyhow, welcome to the hypocrisy of departmentalism.
Wow, these are crazy, because I'm thinking these guys now. This is learning for me, because Harry Belafonte, yeah, I've heard of his name. I'll hear his name. Don't get twisted. But I haven't had need to study about him, going to him. So this is part of Black history. So I can walk around and go, hold on a second, we've had successful music in the charts, and it doesn't mean it's because it's number 1 in the UK. Doesn't mean that you can come into the country and be treated like a human being. Crazy. Because them same people would dance to that tune and then say to the job centre,
yes,
this job is not for coloured people.
But yet they are buying. This is the
Social
contradiction and the contradiction and mental slavery on their part, because they're enslaved as well, because they're ignorant of the fact.
And it shows as well, bro.
Yes.
We can be in the charts. Let's be real. We can be in charts. We can be doing well in certain countries.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that black people got it good in that country because they accept our music, accept our creative arts. This is evidence, complete evidence, because
this is the 1950s.
The generation that is dying in our community, if not already died, have got scars of this time.
And also we need to remember as well, Ari Belafonte was a civil rights activist. He was a personal friend of the late Martin Luther King. They worked together. They fought against the racial segregation. That he was an outspoken brother on that matter. He didn't miss a beat. He spoke very vividly and strong about racial oppression of any group. He married a woman of different race. Yeah. He didn't really care, just the way he was. He had black wives and he had white wives and anything in between. I don't know, about 4, quite
King
a few.
Solomon.
Yes, Solomon as well. I don't know. These brothers like the Quincy Jones of the world.
Yeah, yeah, man. So we want to open up that kind of worms now, people. Yeah. But either way, you know, guys, we just again, this is great learning. But let's kind of, you know. So we got Belafonte, guys. So we've seen his album cover. Let me just raise this up again. Let me just touch his album. So I'm about evidence that Roger can just touch his album. Bam. You know what I'm saying?
This is 68 years old.
He's got my tune. Yeah.
68 years old. This album, you remember, this album is 68 years old.
So if you're watching YouTube, you'll be able to see this, yeah? So guys,
go
to the YouTube channel. Okay, bro. So this is celebrating Black music. Black History music?
Black History music of Black History Month.
Black History music,
Music Month.
Music Month, cool. Yeah. Black History Music Month, cool. So there's that. So let's put that one side. I can't believe Dale. Yeah. And the joke is, people twisted that in when I was growing up and made it all very kind of like derogative. You know what I mean? Saying, bro. So I didn't like that song because people changed. You know what I'm saying? It made it into derogative to me as a child. And you might be thinking, you know what I mean? Listen, guys, I grew up around people that, you know, that when they hear they twist it and they use it as a weapon. So when I hear Dale, I kind of get vexed because they used to use it as used to make up a version that would be derogative. So I shall go and listen to it in the pure essence of it on my all digital platforms. Perspective of Life on my title, but no, let's see if we can pick up the next album, bro. You got for me, yeah? We're celebrating.
This album is a CD actually of Aretha Franklin's first album, first gold album, beg your pardon, when she signed to Atlantic Records. I never loved a man, the way I loved you. This is Aretha Franklin's first gold album, beg your pardon, of her career. That is regarded as 10 years after Calypso album. 10 years after.
10 years later. Okay.
1967. Now, this is what is interesting about this album. It was the very year that the American music market hit the $1 billion mark.
That's it. That's the album.
This is one of the albums that contributed to that gross earning. Of course, don't forget what Motown was doing at the time with the Supremes and so forth, and Otis Redding and Sam Cooke. All these brothers contributed to the gross earning that very year. Now, what is interesting about this album? Well,
go on.
First of all, the album spent about 14 weeks at number one on the R&B, soul, and albums charts. Beginning the 29th of October. The 29th of April.
Is that a nice title? Because wasn't it called the Race Charts?
No, they don't call it the Race Charts. The Race Charts was back in the 50s, well, the 40s, really. They keep on changing the name.
So guys, because believe it or not, black music was called the Race Charts. The Race Charts,
and Race Parade and so forth and so on. But it changed its name, and now it was called R&B or soul. It went through so many evolutions.
Okay, cool.
Many evolutions. It was one of the charts that was keep on changing, while the country charts and all others keep the same name all the time.
Yeah,
that's another story. Anyhow,
wow.
I Never Loved a Man the Way I Loved You was Aretha Franklin's first album to go the soul album chart number one for 14 weeks. It spent on the pop album chart, which is the album 200, which it peaked at number 2, weekend in the 27th of May, 1967. Right, that's the year when I celebrated my 10th birthday. So, it spent 79 weeks on the album charts. That particular album, 79 weeks. It sold nearly 2 million copies. It was huge. It was a monster. monster
A
hitting
black
album.
woman,
Yes.
and don't get me wrong, guys. Black women weren't treated the best,
No,
man.
no, no.
You know what I'm
She
saying? You're saying,
wasn't.
so.
Yeah, well, this is interesting. When she actually hit big with this chart, she renegotiated her deal with Atlantic Records.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, she's selling at the same level as Barbara Streisand and all these sisters.
Wow.
Remember, she's selling at the same level as Barbara Streisand.
Jeez.
Okay, I want you to understand. She's selling at the same levels as the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. Those are the numbers that they were doing at that time. Okay, and another thing too. The albums produced 2 gold singles that sold 1 million copies each.
And you know what, bro? You know, it's scary. You get told as a child, you gotta be twice as good, 3 times as good. So, guys, before they even listen to the record, they've got to be told. They almost gotta, when they go in the record shop as a non-black, yeah. As black people, we go there, we see the black face, like, let me listen to this.
Yeah.
But as a non-black person in that period of time, you have to go out your way in the 60s to buy a record with a black woman on the front cover. You have to seriously either sneak that into your house, yeah, or you have to say that track has to be serious.
Well, the thing, what is interesting about Aretha Franklin, she was making music as far back as the days on Chess Records, just her father. Yeah, so she's making music when she was nearly just about in her primary school days and secondary school days. Wow. So that's how long she was in her voice. I remember she get mentor training by the late James Cleveland and all these people. Those are the people that she used to hang around with. You know, Sam Cooke.
Aretha Franklin did the video Amen in it.
Yes, and she did Amazing Grace album as well.
Was it Amazing Grace? Sorry,
yes,
Amazing Grace, Amen.
Yes.
Amazing Grace, that
album,
and where they did where everybody came to the church in it.
Yes, that's right.
And it had even my guy from Rolling Stones or something. Like
yes,
that.
he was there.
Yes.
Yes.
Is Mick Jagger?
Mick Jagger was there. Mick Jagger
was
there. And this particular album, if we talk about album, this particular album was the first gospel live album to do 2 million copies. The live gospel album has sold more than most of our albums. Wow. The last time it took about something close to 20 odd years before another gospel album did platinum level. That was Kurt Franklin's first one. Yeah.
Wow.
It took 20 years before somebody can actually eclipse.
So Aretha Franklin did a gospel album. Yeah.
During the 70s. Yes.
During the 70s. That we had to wait until 20 years
before another gospel
artist. And you wouldn't say Aretha Franklin, as much as she's come from gospel heritage, she wasn't a gospel artist as such, would you say?
She was a
popular artist. Yeah, she was a popular artist that had gospel roots.
Yes.
So she decided to do a gospel album, you know what I'm saying, which some popular artists up to the 90s would do that in the full no way.
Yes.
So she did that. Jim Reeves did that. Elvis Presley did that. Everybody did that. So she did that and produced a gospel album.
That's correct.
Correct. Is basically
standard test of time. It's actually inducted in the Grammy Hall of Fame. Even this album is inducted in the Grammy Hall of Fame.
Wow.
She's actually amazing. Transcend. And she's produced, she's produced 2 gold singles from that album. You remember Respect?
Yes.
Respect, which was written by Otis Redding, may I remind you?
Come on, man. Songwriters kicking people, know the industry. Know your industry, people.
Yes.
Listen, we can write for each other, people. We can go to people, great writers, and say, listen, you might not be, I can deliver you a great song. So, people need to give up the songs. You know, something we don't do in the UK enough is songwrite for other artists.
So Otis Redding's single, he did it as a Respect as a single as well. But Aretha Franklin took it to the top. This was the first and only Aretha Franklin single as a solo artist solo artist capacity to go number 1. June the 3rd, 1967. 2 weeks, and it was a gold record as well. A gold record, that means she had 2 gold records the self-titled single. That was, both of them were number one on the R&B soul album charts, singles charts, hot as it was called then, Billboard Hot Rhythm and Blues.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, now that's correct. So we're gonna keep it moving.
Oh, somebody liked that already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somebody's like that already.
So let's keep moving. So we just been talking about this album song, the Touch It There. So Aretha Franklin, there you are.
Aretha Franklin, bro. CD. Okay. Boom.
Cool. Let's keep moving because time's going. So
Brother Isaac Hayes now.
Okay, cool.
Hot Butter Soul. I remember when my uncle introduced me to this in the late 60s. You know,
you must have got this fellowship for that one.
He just give me quiet. Listen, man, I want you to listen to this album. You know, Jamaican. I said, you must listen to this album now. And I'm looking at this man. I said, this brother is bald-headed. You say, and? I said, bald, yeah. What, not realizing that is maybe the style of the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said, listen to this. This is the first album by any artist, both black or white, that had 4 tracks on it. Look at it.
Okay, the first EP. That's basically the first EP.
Yes, the first. It was like you could say an EP, but it's an album. Yes, it's an album.
Yeah. That's first extended play. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Listen, one of the tracks is the infamous 80 minutes by the time I get to Phoenix.
Yeah, you know what? When I did some Isaac Hayes, I must admit, a couple of years ago when we spoke about Isaac Hayes before,
yes.
And when you spoke to me, and I did a bit of online research on him, and when I got to, I remember the front cover of the album, and I was there. I looked. These tracks are long. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You're saying 4 tracks, but no way. Okay.
And
Brave.
And the Walk On By, which was originally recorded by Dionne Warwick for Alan Burback. He did an epic 12 minutes to do that, of 12 minutes of moment of pure perfection, with trademark string led. I mean, the orchestration was velvet, brother.
Okay, cool.
Total orchestration.
Total
orchestration. So the bass line and so on was smoking dope.
Because I listened to that album. And I was like,
you listened to it.
The following the bass, and when you just like 3 minutes in, you hear something go woo. You know what I'm saying? So
the album to me was like a film score.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 100%.
Film score.
Yep.
The string. And the brother who did the string, John Allen, was a staff member of Motown. He was a master arranger, worked with Gladys Knight and the Pips and Temptation song. He's a serious brother. Orchestrational arranger. You know, the best in the business, one of the best.
But I know Isaac Hayes for another track.
Well.
And Isaac Hayes is that guy that has basically no top on and a big chain and he's
say it again. Sharf.
Yeah, man. Absolute classic.
This is revolutionary. Okay, why is Sharf so significant? Well, trademark album by the late Isaac Hayes. A film score, a sonic masterpiece. Would you agree with me? Sonic masterpiece.
Yeah, man.
A 1972 Grammy Award. The theme of Sharf won for the best sound engineer, for non-classical best instrumental arrangement. Right? The film score also won best instrumental composition written, especially for a motion picture for television.
Okay,
Motion picture or for television. The National Association of Television and Radio gave Sharf its album the Album of the Year award. At the Grammy, at the Academy Award that year, Isaac Hayes became the first African American to win an Oscar for a non-acting category for the theme from Sharf.
Okay.
So he was the first. The brother was the first.
Yeah.
These guys break the first and won award for the best original song.
Okay.
And then on top of that, the album, although it said it did gold by 1996, the album sold several million copies. Actually, the theme of Shaft was a certified silver, certified in England. It sold over $250,000.
And the thing is, Shaft, just
The
having,
theme,
like I said, with the movie itself and whatsoever, yeah, guys.
Actually, the movie itself,
you know what I'm
is a blockbuster.
itself. So there's finances from there anyway. Still, yeah. Sorry,
and said all the songs are written by the late Isaac Hayes. And listen, the album was added to the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, and ethical significant.
Come on now.
So it's a landmark album of cultural significance.
And I think that, guys, again, we want to culturally understand that these guys weren't born with wealth around them. These guys had to fight amongst and have to be consistent. That has to do the time and for their development and get the opportunity. They've done some of them have done like 5 years, 10 years sitting in the studio at some of the superstar studios and just waiting for the time. Some of these guys have been without for so long. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
he's a self-taught musician. He self-taught himself with the sax, pianist, songwriter, self-taught.
Yeah.
I'm a soul man. Soul man is coming. All those I'm a soul man, and all those hits. Before he actually became a solo artist, he had wrote million sellers with David Porter.
Exactly.
Million seller songs.
He's
paid his dues.
And
he was a session musician working with the Booker T and the MGs at the Stack Studio. So he was totally a studio. A master pianist and organist, and he was a saxophonist. Self-taught.
Okay.
I repeat, self-taught. And he became a composer for a film score, one of the greatest film scores of that time.
This is what I'm saying, people. If you really want it, you'll work it, and you don't.
I would recommend people to listen to Shaft because the instrumentation is.
And the thing is, I think self-taught doesn't mean that. Sometimes we take for granted self-taught. We think that somebody's naturally gifted and just go and sit in the piano and it all comes because they're natural. Sometimes self-taught, majority, if not all, 99.9% of the times is self-taught is, yes, you got the water talent, but you have to practice day in, day out without the guidance of being actually taught. Yeah, so you have to listen to pieces, and there's a natural ability within that, but you still have to practice. You still got to practice to get the fingers stronger. You still got to practice, understand. You still got to listen to music. You still got to engross yourself with music to understand the music itself. So at the end of the day, so sometimes you look at, they're just self-taught, so they're superior. No, some self-taught people are not only self-taught, but also they worked, practiced. They eat, sleep, drink their instrument, their tool, and that's why they're best of what they are. I'm a self-taught videographer, but you can ask my missus them. All they do is see me look at new cameras every single day, new technologies, listen to different perspectives of guys. Every single day, I'm eating up my craft to make sure I become the best, the smartest, the cleverest, and the best at my workflow. You know what I'm saying? So if you are a great musician and you're self-taught, you are listening to the latest beats, the breaks, the this, the that, listen to all sounds of music, understand it, how it works on your instrumentation, your structures and stuff like that. So you're studying. So it's not just sit down and God has given you the gift and then you just play. It's way deeper than that. So sometimes people look at
you have to be a student. You have to be a student of your work.
Because sometimes, bro, people look at black people and said, "Oh, they just pick it up and it's easy." No. We've got to pick it up without a teacher.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. And then have the pressures of playing, like say we know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying. And then we practice hard.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we haven't got the guidance.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But what that did is created super musicians. And then once he did the lettering, the notation, once you got your head around that as well. Listen, bro, the rest is history, man.
This is interesting about the theme of Shaft. It was number one in Canada on the RPM 100 singles chart week of December, the 11th of December 1971 for 2 weeks. And also it was number one on the Billboard 200 Hot 100 singles chart. the album as well was number one, a week. It spent 68 weeks, 60 weeks.
That's domination, man. And we spoke about these films like Shaft, and in that period there, just to get these films out.
Yeah.
Black films. It was hard work. So these guys are perfect.
And the thing about the industry was categorizing them.
Yeah.
Black exploits and all different things to. I mean, they said, well, we go to deal with Curtis Smith Superfly. That's another thing. But this here, the theme of Thraft was also inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1996. It was so landmark. It was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame.
Crazy, bro, guys.
1999.
This is absolutely,
phenomenal.
Crazy, man. That's crazy. But listen, guys. There's a couple.
And don't forget. This is the Memphis sound we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's one to make sure we know because we've got West Coast. So
and the Aretha Franklin one was the Muscle Shoals sound, which is on the Southern State.
Okay.
And this is the Memphis sound, just up the top.
Okay, guys. We're gonna pause off on this part here, because we've got another part to go.
Oh, yes.
And next part we're going to be looking into is the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? California. Sorry. I'm going. I'm way ahead of that. So I'm more in the hip hop generation when it comes to West Coast.
Yeah.
California. Anyway, California. But we don't get too excited. So guys, do check out the next video that we're going to be doing on this, and do check out all our videos that we do. And not to forget that Kevin Tomlin is also he's got books. If you put Kevin Tomlin into your Amazon, you'll see his books, as he's written a number of books now. He's got another book coming out soon as well.
Number 6.
So, you know what I'm saying? So let's back him up there still all day long. And again, guys, listen.
Oh, but don't forget that the Shaft information and the Aretha Franklin information is in 2 separate books. The Muscle Show book, and which is the Icons of Muscle Show, and then the next one, Icons of Memphis. You find Isaac Hayes stuff.
Brilliant stuff.
And Al Green and so forth.
Al Green and stuff like that. Cool.
Okay,
we won't go there. So we won't go there. But listen, nothing but love. This is Roger. Over and out, man.
Over and out.
Hey, this is your Bishop. This is your Bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta, and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of Black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.